the loudest. You've survived the earlier horrors, but this maze, it's the grand finale. The last act in our blood-soaked circus. There's no turning back now. Only one way out, and trust me, it won't be easy. The clowns are ready, the traps are set, and your fate? Well, let's just say this is where the fun really ends.
Okay, good evening everyone. Well, you probably can't see that very well, so if I turn around that way, you can see me, but obviously behind us is Dr Frights, room 666, volume 2. So we've had an absolutely fantastic night, as we always do. Now, Dr Frights, if I turn that way, you'll be able to see me better. There you go. So Dr Frights have continued with the one route all the way round like they've done, like they did last year. So there's when we got here, there was a big queue outside, but that is the queue for the first 2 mazes. You then go from there into a little quiet rest area. You go into the next 2 mazes and the next 2, and then you finish with the final one, the Killer Clowns, which were great fun. Okay, so I've just moved away from the main area because of the noise. So let's just go through the mazes one at a time. So we started out with Stormvale Cemetery. That was like going through a woodland. There were lots of nuns in there, really quite dark and spooky, a lot of strobe lighting and everything happening, and yeah, it's hard to believe you're actually in a marquee in the middle of a field, because it really did feel like you were in a graveyard. I love the little fences, you know, quite large rooms that you're moving up and down in, and there was quite a lot going on in there. Next up you have Slasher House, which was basically Ghostface from Scream. He has his own house this time. And there were hundreds of them. They were just jumping out from all over the place, and yeah, it gave us some really good jump scares in there. You then have a little break in the middle. Then we went on to the Grindhouse Apocalypse. Now this was definitely a bit of a homage to Fallout. The Fallout TV series is a post-apocalyptic version of the Grindhouse. Obviously you've still got the hillbillies wanting to eat people. They've got their chainsaws, but yeah, definitely set to a nuclear background. That led into found footage, which had lots of interest in. You could see yourself on the screen a lot throughout that one. You could see what was going on. A number of good jump scares there. I'm trying to read these in order. I might have them in the wrong order here. We then had Hollywood Horror Resurrection. So after a break in the middle, you then go into Hollywood Horror. And like all good horror movies, you know, all good horror movie bad guys, they keep coming back. So that had Linda Blair from The Exorcist. That had Michael Myers, Saw, a number of things. And there were so many good scares. It was a really good trick down a corridor with, I think, Michael Myers on one side and Freddy Krueger on the other. And they would just come out of one boo hole together, both sides, you know, either side of you. And then they come out to the next one. They basically followed us all the way down the corridor. The same 2 actors on both sides. That was really good. Then had the House of Dolls, which was lots of scary dolls everywhere. It was like creepy more than scary. Quite a few jump scares in there, but all good fun. And then it finished with the absolute crazy Killer Clowns Ultimate Championship. That was a really long finale maze, and the video is saying like, you've made it now. There's no way out. You have to go through the final maze. The clowns are always crazy. I love the music in there. You know, one minute you're singing along, and the next minute you're screaming or laughing at what the clowns are up to. So yeah. So then once you've come through, there's obviously a food court. Now, the one thing about the new layout, it does miss the busyness that you used to have at the food court. Obviously, the busyness now at the event is at the front queue as you queue to go in, because basically as you go into the event, you go straight into the first 2 mazes. So yeah, there's less of an atmosphere, not so many roaming characters in the zone at the end. A lot of people were just coming out the last maze and then just go in at that point. But there was a bar there, there's food, and yeah, it's you know, I think they're going to continue this this method for quite a while. So yeah, we've really enjoyed it. So we are going to sign off from Dr Frights Route 666 Volume 2. I was using that to remind me of what the maze names were. We just want to thank all the team at Dr Frights for inviting us down and making us so welcome as they always do. And with that, we're going to sign off. It is Halloween night. It was great to be here on Halloween, and we are going to sign off, and we will see you at our next event.